Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
What are you snacking on there, LeRon?
Haribo gummy bears.
I knew it. I knew it was gummy bears.
Yeah, gummy candy. That's my preferred candy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like candy, but after I eat it, I just feel like I'm ballooning. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm. I guess that's literally what candy does to you, though, right? It's like makes you, if you don't exercise or eat too much of it, right, all the time.
You're not feeling like bloaty or whatnot. You're just in your head. You're thinking that you're getting bigger.
Sure. I don't know, dude. I smell food and I gain weight. Okay, so
that's where I am. Like, but apparently talking to the right doctors and stuff like that and dietitians, it's a gut issue and not so much a well, I mean, a gut issue is a body issue, but it's a gut issue because apparently your biome is like screwed up to the point where like sugar or carbohydrates or whatever, you know, like you can have a couple of like Ritz crackers and all of a sudden you feel like a beached whale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome to the Boss Rush Nutrition Podcast, everybody.
Don't look at me for full nutrition advice. You will not get your money's worth.
You know who is getting their money's worth? Our guest and our friend, Todd Oxtra, is here. Todd, welcome to the show. Welcome back. Glad you're here.
It's always a pleasure to join Boss Rush. Wow, you wow. I feel like I come on like a ghost every 6 months to a year, and I'm glad to come in because I never know who I'm going to get. Like last time, I think it was Steph and a few other folks, and now it's LeRon. LeRon has been doing some cool stuff over at Secret Friends Unite, talking about Star Wars and Star Trek. So I'm glad to be here, and just if people are a little confused, this is my last week at Secret Friends Unite, and it's not because I'm leaving on horrible terms. It's just because I am ready for a new adventure to do new things. So I'll be sharing more about that soon. But
come on, we all know you punched Charlie in the face because he said something bad about your wife.
It's because
no, I insulted Riker, Will Riker, Charlie's, I think first love. Charlie could if Charlie decided to change teams, he and Bill Frakes would be. Is Bill right?
I mean,
Bill Frakes? Jonathan. Yeah, he and him would be life partners. So I would say that. So yes, yeah. But no, Charlie has punched me over not recording an episode of Melrose Place in college. So there we go. More stories about that. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a tell-all book about my time with Charlie.
The original Melrose or the reboot?
No, the old one in college. This is college. It was very funny.
The Heather Locklear one. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I this is my last week this Secret tonight. It's moving on. Charlie and Peter are going to be doing their thing, and they'll still be doing some awesome stuff there. So if you want to check out my last episode on Secret Friends Unite, you know where to do that.
You had a good run, Todd. I thought it was going to last forever. I really did.
Could you imagine that doing like most podcasts last, like I said, if it gets slow at 10 episodes, it lasts forever, it'll go forever. And like, not even the Beatles lasted like 8 years, I think, Simon Garfunkel, they eventually just want to do their own thing. So, everybody wants to put their solo album out. So it's time for my solo album, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, next spring, I think, is Ed and I's 10th year doing Pow Block. So,
who thought Ed would still be alive at this point?
I know the way he eats and the way he just is awake all the time. It's like, man, that guy's lived like 4 lives in one. I don't get it.
I remember one. I can't remember if it was on this show or if it was actually on Pow Block. I was like, do you even question your life choices sometimes when it comes to like what you actually eat?
I know, man.
No.
I just
He don't love himself.
or he loves himself too much. I don't either way. You know, dude knows how to live. I guess. You know.
Right. I guess because
he's
because,
gonna
like,
die the way he wants to live.
yeah, because if I try to live like he does, like I'm going to like it's going to be like Kill Bill when she did the five finger thing on Bill, and he took 6 steps and then dropped.
Jeez.
You know what? Ed will live longer than all of us, though, because he's full of like all of those artificial preservatives and things like that just keep him alive.
Yeah, yeah. Like his body will need to be donated to science when he finally does kick the bucket.
Yeah, you know, none of us will be alive to bury him in all of the games that he buys either. You know, his casket's going to be made out of the plastic and disc boxes.
Hey, at least his family will know how to afford being able to like do his funeral, though.
That's true.
True.
All that physical video game media.
He'll probably haunt them, though. Like every bit of his soul will be transferred to a different box. Like he'll be. He probably wants to be buried, his ashes put in a game case, and then given to Nintendo, right? He wants to be in a Nintendo museum.
He's going to be playing Pikmin, and he's going to be like, why are the Pikmin always trying to dig everything up? What's happening?
Jeez.
Man. Ed, we love you.
Some of us
Eddie
do.
Barnell.
I'm just kidding. Sometimes. Anyways. This is the Boss Rush Podcast, the flagship podcast of the Boss Rush Network. You can find us every Tuesday night live or on Wednesdays on your podcast service of choice. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Boss Rush Network. You can catch all of our videos, all that kind of stuff. If you want to support us, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. For as little as $1, you get a whole bunch of extra content early or exclusively. You can become a Patreon producer at the $5 level. But if you can't support us financially, leave us a review on podcast services, a rating, 5-star rating. Only 5-star ratings are accepted. So do that or you're banned. Anyways, you can find all of our content on our website, including our daily Boss Rush Banter discussion pieces, news, reviews, listicles, features, and more on bossrush.net. You should visit. It would make David Lasby very happy if you visited our website. It'd make us happy too, but you know.
Not as happy as David.
Yeah. I can feel his energy tallying up those article totals tonight for the meeting tomorrow. You know, sitting there. Article. You know. Anyways. Not important. Nobody cares about our meetings. You know what they do care about? They care about us. You know what? We're gonna start with this section tonight. Anybody playing anything fun? Anything interesting? Anything cool? Todd, you're our guest. I know it's last on the dock, but I'm switching things up.
That's a good question. The game I'm loving the most is I have to get this right because it feels like there's so many ninja games right now, but it's Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I played the demo and I'm like, wow, this is why you put demos out to sell people your game. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. This game is beautiful. I love hand-drawn animation over 8-bit aesthetics or 16-bit aesthetics these days. I just love a beautiful hand-drawn game. This game is essentially it's not a Metroidvania. It's a side-scrolling 3D or a side-scrolling platformer with action and great combat, and it's beautiful and it feels so stylish. It's like if they said make it a side-scrolling Devil May Cry, and this is what you would get. It's a throwback, but it is advanced. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Runs great, and it just feels so good to play. Even if you're a button masher, you feel like you're doing cool stuff and you don't realize it. I'm just finding it to be amazing. It's just the art style's awesome. I believe I got it on PC because I got a discount for it. I think it was $22 after the discount on one of the services. I wanted to get it on Switch 2, but once again, I feel like right now the Switch 2 is getting Switch ports more so than Switch 2 versions, which means unfortunately, they're just not taking advantage of the hardware, which means you're going to get probably a lower frame rate. The resolution may not be as good, which sucks, and I hate that.
Yeah,
And I hope they
we
fix that
talked
down the
about that
road.
last week.
Yeah, that was the big problem with Ninja Gaiden, right? Because it ran at like I
Yeah.
think it ran at like 60 or 120 on the beefy boys, and the Switch 2 only got the Switch version. It ran at 30, and people were really mad.
Yeah, which is a shame because you feel you want your hardware to good, and Nintendo, I think at this point, they're like,
You know, it's weird for all the praise that we gave Nintendo for the Switch 2's launch. Like they apparently were stumbling just as hard as like Sony and Microsoft did with the PS5 and the series.
Well, it's not just that. It just seems like they're being. I mean, we talked about it on Pal Block for like 20 minutes the other day, but like they are being very careful on who they give Switch 2 dev kits to, except for that weird campfire game, apparently. That they showed.
Why would they though? I thought the whole idea was like you give
They
your hardware
are-
out there and you want everybody to create on it.
So they want at least this first. So what I've been hearing is that they are really trying to control the software, kind of the amount of software that comes out on the console this year as like a soft launch year, and then next year they're going balls to the wall with software from everybody, I guess is the
God, this is reminding me of the whole Nintendo quality of seal thing.
I know. Look,
and
I
how,
know,
like,
man.
And how companies like all the big companies, Capcom, Konami, all of them can only release like 3 games a year, and that's how we got Ultra games and all these other offshoots and all this stuff.
I was going to say Ultra.
This
Seal
is
quality.
okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it because I'm like the big Nintendo naysayer here on the Boss Rush podcast. It's some bullshit, Nintendo. I mean, for real.
I mean, that's why we don't have Metal Gear on the Switch right now. It's not because it won't run. It's because Konami doesn't have dev kits.
Oh, it's not running properly on the consoles. Like I was actually shocked. I was actually shocked that it's running fine on the PC because like this is the first Unreal Engine 5 game that I played on my PC that I have not had to tweak. I've not had to tweak. I haven't had to go into the config files, the .inis or whatever, and like it plays fine. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute on what I've been playing.
Corey, there's a great way to play Metal Gear Solid. It's on the 3DS, so play it there.
Yeah.
Go there. It is weird though because you think Sega is a huge partner for Nintendo. You think of like Persona, those series,
and they all have Switch 2 versions. All the Sonic games have Switch 2 versions.
Weird, and that is where Shinobi is a Sega game, and it seems like that would be weird that developer that Sega hired because Sega didn't develop the game. They're publishing it. I think it's .emu or one of those great studios. And that was what I felt like did great wonders for the Switch was having strong indies at launch, and now they're not doing it. So I feel like every company tends to after they have big success, they then fall into the trap of, well, we will not. We're so successful, people will just go on board. So I worry at this point, though, it's really the most extreme handheld and Nintendo fans into it right now, and those are the people that really demand, the most, like full game on card, all these other things that Nintendo's trying to pull off. And it's like, no, you can't fool the people that are in right now because those are the people that won't be fooled. So, but enough about that. I also jumped into Silk Song. I tried Hollow Knight, bounced off pretty quick. It's not my type of Metroidvania / Souls-like. I don't like the vague part of a game perspective that I believe Souls people like. They like, they want to find their own way. That's fine. I feel like you should not have to find a map or have to figure out how to find a map. Map should just be a given in a Metroidvania, which is just something that I got frustrated with in that. And Silk Song, I felt it has charm. Its character. I just don't think if you liked Hollow Knight, you're going to really dig this game because I feel like it still falls in the same tropes. And for me, it was like, I felt like in a game where like that, I feel like I need to be rewarded pretty early with something cool to do. And in that game, I felt like I didn't get any new movesets. I felt like I was fighting the same little bugs. I fought a boss, got nothing cool from that boss. So I felt like, what's my reward versus just living in a world where the checkpoints are really far apart, and there's a lot of vagueness about it that just didn't make much sense. So I get it. A lot of people love that. It's just not for me. Play it. I played it on Game Pass. the value of Game Pass is essentially a demo. My son is loving it. He already put like 6 hours in, and he's in college, so he should not be doing that because he should be studying. So Logan, I can tell when you played. Don't do that. And then other than that, I played Madden. I enjoy Madden. I love football games and stuff like that, but I get put off because I want more of an arcade experience. There is not an arcade experience right now when it comes to football. And then other than that, I'm just my main focus in LeRon and Curry. I think you'll like this. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say that's been the weirdest thing, like in the history of Madden and NCAA college football. Like just the fact that they can. I guarantee you it doesn't take a lot of work to wall off content for just an arcade mode. You know, yeah. I feel like it would have been like the chef's kiss to this whole thing, or the cherry on top or whatever.
I mean, like NFL Street and NBA Street were like awesome
great games.
I missed those games, and like I mean, the reason why they stopped making them is because it wasn't because they weren't popular. It's because the NBA and the NFL wanted to get away from like quote unquote thug culture, and that they felt those games
Mario NBA Street.
Yeah. so are the Final Fantasy VII characters on the 3DS
point taken.
version.
I agree. Mario is causing kids to do bad things.
Yeah.
It's that
Yoshi crossover that really put it over the top. You know,
Mario's got those baggy shorts, man. What's going to happen to the kids if they start wearing those baggy shorts?
Yeah,
but yeah, I wish there was a arcade mode in these games. I really miss that era. I mean, I think we got the NBA game a couple years ago that was kind of arcade-ish, and now there's
Playgrounds?
Like, kids game. Yeah, Playgrounds. So that was pretty cool. And then there's like a kids game with mascots from the NBA that's out, which is kind of crazy. It's on like Switch and stuff, so kind of cool. But what I'm doing to recreate that era is I've been building essentially my arcade cabinet. So I would show it if I was off my screen, but I have gone into PC emulation, and I've got myself my Arcade Legends arcade controller set up, and I'm going to get big into NFL Blitz. I'm going to get big into NBA Jam. Those experiences I miss so much, and I'm going to just recreate them on my arcade system, and I'm so excited to do it. So That's what I'm excited to do.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I miss. I saw a PlayStation 3 version of the Blitz the League the other day. I was like, man,
Lawrence Taylor, where they take drugs,
yeah,
and steroids.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like, man, those games were something.
Yeah.
LeRon, what are you playing?
As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently playing Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'm enjoying it. But you know what? I ran into a small problem. I didn't realize I'd taken like a small break from the game. Like when I started playing the game the other night. And like I was doing my sneaking thing, right? And you know, like when Snake's stomach starts rumbling, that's when you have to eat something. So you know, open my food stores. Everything was rotten. Everything except for the instant ramen and the calorie mate bar. And I was like, huh? I was like, how? So like I actually like was like, hold on. So I like reloaded my save, and then I immediately went right back to the food stores. Yeah, it was rotten. So I was like, what's going on here? So I didn't realize I hadn't played the game in 5 days, and the game has an always persistent clock.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you could only turn it off by playing it on the lowest, like the lowest difficulty setting. I think it's the only way you could turn it off, right? So I was like, man.
That sounds annoying, but I know there's a trophy for beating it in 5 hours or something. So like, the game's not that long, I guess, but like, it still sounds really. It's long if you're out. If you're out there sneaking and being stealth, because like, I legit hate being caught out in it. Well, Metal Gear Solid 3 definitely is one of those games I hate causing an alert mode. Like MGS 1 and 2, I didn't really have that big of a problem with it. You know, like hell, I get spotted by somebody, fine, let's rumble. But given the fact that, you know, like there was an emphasis on stealth, but also there was not enough stealth techniques for this game. Like this game burns me up whenever I get spotted by somebody. And you know, like the good news is, like, you know, like most of the times, like if you step into someone's line of sight, you don't automatically trigger an alert. They'll be like, huh? What was that? And, you know, they come looking.
But for the most part, it's like that just adds more time on there because like you get into this like little alert phase or not alert phase, a caution phase, and then you gotta wait like a minute and a half for that to go away. And like I'm like, come on, like this game is. I feel like this is the first game where I really felt like they were padding like the game time, stuff like that. Not saying this is a complaint, but as someone who is a Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 person, I was like, get in, get out, get the content and keep moving, And MGS3 is like, no, you need to slow the fuck down. So yeah. So that burned me up to the point where I was like, man, I don't have the mental bandwidth for this because I had a backpack full of food. I mean, everything, all the fruit I collected, the rats, the snakes, all that stuff. It was all rotten, like alligator meat, all this stuff. It was all rotten. I'm like, I don't have the mental bandwidth for this tonight. So I turned it off and I went back to playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
So I have to hold off on Kojima and obviously he made this game, they just redid it. I mean, I've had alligator meat last for like 3 weeks. So come on, Kojima. What are you doing? Why is I've got tomatoes
He's not
in
a
my
chef,
house
Todd.
right now.
He's a game developer.
Do they have a decay rate for these things? Tomatoes will decay in 1 hour. I mean, what is it?
You gotta remember, you can cheat in certain scenarios in the game and actually like push yourself through a boss fight. If you know how to manipulate the clock.
I don't know. I'm a firm believer that yogurt can last forever as long as it doesn't smell bad. It's still good to eat. So Kojima,
if the seal hasn't been broken, yes. If it doesn't smell bad, yes, because number one, yogurt's just old cultured enzymes anyway. They had to cultivate.
A guy I worked with, he's Greek and he's like talking about things. He's like, why are Americans so weird about food? And I'm like, because we got a lot of it and we can just throw it away if we want. We're scared. Because we heard about one person that died because of something like 18 years ago. Don't worry about it, folks.
Yeah.
You'll know if it's bad. Although I would say if it's got mold on it, it's just future mold is already on that thing. So you know what? It is what it is. But I was going to ask you, Lauren, so my experience with Metal Gear Solid 3, whatever we're calling it now, Snake Eater. I tried it on PS2 back in the day. Did not love the stealth. I tried it again when they brought out was it Subsistence version? Didn't love it again. I feel like I'm trying it again for the third time on PS5. I've got it right now. Haven't started. I feel like, am I just a fool and I'm just going to walk in the same trap again? I'm assuming they didn't make it a better experience for folks that don't love stealth.
It's a 1-to-1. It's definitely a 1-to-1 remake of the original game. So in all seriousness, like you probably are going to get caught in the same trappings of like your original playthrough because I was telling this to Corey last week when Metal Gear Solid 3 first came out. Because like I played Metal Gear Solid 2 to death. That Metal Gear Solid 3 was a shock to my system. There was no Soliton radar system, so you couldn't see everybody, which is wild when you think about Metal Gear 2, for example. Like when they re-released like the classic, the collection, and they put Metal Gear 2 on there. Metal Gear 2, which is the old NES game, had a radar system, so you could see what was going on. So I was like, what is, it was a shock to my system. You're out there in the open. And the only way to stealth yourself is to like hug a rock, like press up against a tree, crawl on the ground and stuff like that. It was a shock to my system. So I was like, I cannot play this game. So I did not play it in its original run on PS2 when it launched. And I didn't actually pick it up again until like the Metal Gear Solid digital collection came out. When they did some enhancements to the games, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and put them both in one collection. But I didn't play it then on the PS. Yeah, because at that time it was on PS3. They re-released it on PS3. I didn't play that until the PSP version came out. And then that's when I actually finally like played it, beat it, and I actually got my enjoyment out of it. But yeah, like the same, I can say like the same trappings are probably going to get you too. Playing with the modern controls though does make it feel a little bit. It makes it feel a little bit better and stuff like that. You can now move in first person mode if you're playing on the modern play style. And there's a few things in there. If you're used to the classic controller mapping from the PS2 era, like you're gonna have to like get used to that because like honestly, the modern controls, in my opinion, feel what the original PS2 controls should have been. you know. But of course, like, you know, that was coming off of Metal Gear Solid 2, where, you know, like they were basically like, it makes you feel at home if you're fresh off those games. So I'm glad for that. The game is great. I love it. The game looks it looks gorgeous, you know. And I do appreciate a lot of the stuff that that these developers put into it. I keep forgetting the name of the team that actually, like, you know, took on this endeavor and stuff like that.
Was
and
it Virtuous?
Look it up. I don't know. The only reason I'm saying look it up is because like they've been doing interviews and they've been saying that, you know, like they felt it was an honor to do this game, and they wanted to do it right by Hideo Kojima. Even though Hideo Kojima has said, like, he has no interest in this game or whatnot, you know, because of like how everything soured out between him and Konami, stuff like that. But Kojima did give praise to like the effort and energy they put into it, stuff like that. So like he said he's never going to play this product, you know, and that's on principle. And I can't disagree with him on that.
How dare he?
Yeah, I mean, hey, like basically at this point, I mean, Konami does own the IP, so, you know, but at this point it feels like they've stolen the content. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get it. You know, but yeah, I say, how far into it are you without any major spoilers?
It's sitting in the disk drive.
Oh, you haven't even
installed it.
I
haven't even, because
you haven't started the virtuous mission.
No, this is where I'm at the point. I'm like, do I even start it? Because I feel like I get so much, like, you know, just like I'm worried. And this is where I'm like, well, I'll just leave it there, and then I'll like not play it. So I don't know. Play
through the virtuous mission, and then once you get past that prologue, and by prologue I mean when the credits actually roll and you hear the James Bond theme, you know, then figure out, like, am I going to go through with it?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of stealth. That's my problem. But I loved the first two games, loved the fourth game, bounced on the fifth game after we got through whatever the intro was that came out, and I really liked that part. And then we got in there, I'm like, oh, I'm bad at this combat, so I bounced. Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about. It may just not be for me, and that's fine.
I checked out MGS4, like at the worst part. I checked out MGS4 literally right before like the final two boss battles.
Yeah, I loved 4. I loved 1, 2, and 4.
Well, the problem was those walking stick things, or whatever you want to call those things, I was trying to get into the boat, and like for whatever reason, well, I know if I remember correctly, like I was definitely low on ammunition, and I think that's what hurt me. Because every time, you know, like you actually had to like wrestle with the doors to get them open.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get the doors open and stuff like that, I'm getting mobbed by like 3 of those whatever those things were. I can't remember what they were called. All right, it threw me off, and I had to stop, or I was going to break something.
Well, I had to win because I had got that little monkey in a diaper that was drinking soda or beer. I didn't do it for him, so that carried me through LeRon.
Yeah, and I played Ground Zeroes.
I didn't. I like Ground Zeroes. I didn't get into 5.
Yeah, I didn't like 5 either, and you know, like I'm kind of glad I bought it on a Steam sale for like $9. So, you know, like I still haven't played it because I tried playing on the PlayStation, and I was like, I was like, at this point, just remake Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. You know, just remake those.
Yeah. So I will. I'm guessing I won't like, but yeah, at least I can try it a little bit and see where I land. But yeah,
give it a try.
I'm impatient with stealth. I mean, I get very upset because I'm like,
I like stealth until I wind up hating it, and it's usually in game when I wind up hating it.
Yeah, I wonder if the change of perspective and the modern controls will help with that too. You know, because
try.
I don't know. I think the overhead stuff in the Metal Gear games was always like a big kind of barrier for me. But if it looks like a third-person shooter, I'm more likely to play it, I think.
That's the thing too. In this version of the game, there is a true third-person mode. It's not completely overhead now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can manipulate the camera. You can manipulate the camera so where if you want overhead, you can do that. But it's true third-person now if you want it.
Yeah. Cool. I haven't really been playing all that much. I've been still trying to finish Final Fantasy VII and been playing Fortnite and Gears Reloaded. But nothing really to write home about. Nothing new. I do have to say though, Gears still feels really good to play even after almost 20 years. It looks nice. It runs good enough, well enough. Interesting bugs though in the game that I don't really remember encountering. Like where you fight the berserker to try to lead her outside for the first time. Like trying to lead her outside, like the sometimes she doesn't come outside, and
Oh wait, she's a she?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
all berserkers are the females of the locust. I don't know how it works.
Is this? How do you know this, Corey? I don't know this.
I was really into Gears lore for a long time.
Okay.
I have the books. I had the comics at one point. It was a thing. But yeah, they like the walls crash down, so you can't go back in the building, right? You know, awesome, classic mid 2000s game design. But like sometimes the berserker wouldn't come outside, and so I would have to reload the checkpoint and get through the building again. I had to do that like two times before I got her outside. But I'm making my way through the emulsion factory now, and the lighting looks really good with the weird yellow glow and the wretches that are glowing in the dark, and with the HDR kind of stuff turned on, it looks really nice. So, but other than that, like I don't know, it's just Gears 1.
They didn't do anything to the textures. It's just really a better looking version of Ultimate, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think no pun intended, the ultimate reason to release this was to get it on PlayStation, I think. Honestly.
Well, Ultimate was never on PC as well, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
okay.
It came to
I didn't
PC.
know
I
that.
can't remember.
Yeah, it came to PC. I think it was later, but it did come to PC at some point.
Okay.
Everybody who owns it on Xbox also got a free upgrade. So, not really making any money. It does.
I was going to ask you a question about that, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously E-Day is coming out. That's going to be like their brand new, what is it, Unreal Engine 5 prequel.
Mm-hmm.
That will probably come out to PlayStation, I'm guessing, down the road. They're going to start with that game. Well, playing that, now going back to the newer game, which is a prequel, looks much better. And then go forward. I mean, I'm curious what happens with that, because will they bring out the rest of the Gears games as just regular ports?
That's where I think the mistake was made here, right? Is where like I think they should have at least released the original trilogy if you're going to release E-Day on PlayStation. Like I do imagine throughout next year they will release 2 and 3 as upgrades to what, like some sort of ultimate edition of 2 and 3. But I think, Gears 1 is the worst of the trilogy in my opinion by far. It's still a great game, don't get me wrong, but like 2 and 3 are where the magic happens. And if you want people to get to know these characters, especially not non-Xbox players, because 2 and 3 are not on PC. They are Xbox 360 exclusives. Like
crazy.
And I think if you want people to really feel bringing Dom back, right, and Marcus in a real major way, like you got to make people feel for those characters, and that's what happens in 2 and 3. So
yeah, it's an odd approach when you think of. You gave them one game. Now the next game they're going to get most likely is the prequel, and then it's like, what's next? Do you give them 4 and 5, which are everywhere or more available and more modern? But those are, you don't have those main characters involved, except now they're 20 or 30 years older, and it is a weird approach. And those of us like me who enjoyed 5 and 4.
Yeah, me too.
When am I getting like an ending to that series?
When am I getting 6? Are they going to do the Halo thing where they put it in a comic book that nobody's going to buy?
Are they just going to do any more prequels like E-Day Day 3, E-Day Day 4? And I'm like, prequels are fine. It's just if you make that your area you play in, I just feel like you're constrained because we know what's going to happen with 2 and 3. So what can you do with those characters? Because you're like, all these cool things happen with these characters, but they never talked about it. And then all the weapons you added in that are really awesome later, you're not going to use them. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a weird experience.
And my thing too is like they've been doing prequels for Gears for so long anyway. Like Gears Tactics is a prequel, the DLC for 3 is a prequel, Judgment is a prequel. You know, now they're going back to E-Day, which is a prequel, and it's like these are all taking place around the same time. Like you know, it's I don't know how much you can really do with that. I mean, I know that the DLC and Gears Tactics aren't exactly like huge sellers or anything, but like that lore out there exists, and that those games exist, and for hardcore Gears fans, it's like we've played this already. We've literally played E-Day already. That's the DLC for 3 and Gears Tactics and Judgment.
Where does Funko Pop Gears sit in the the franchise? LeRon, if I were to ask you where the Funko Pop timeline fits within the Gears timeline, what would you say?
I would say, oh wow, I would say definitely the first Gears. Like, if I were to put it there, you know.
Okay. So the first character, as somebody who hated the idea of Gears Pop but downloaded it anyway, the first character you get is Kate. So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. They went full in the next gen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's my thing though, too, Todd, is like, so they're going to do E-Day, which, to be fair, is mostly People Can Fly is developing it. I know they're kind of pitching it as a coalition.
People Can Fly. Didn't they make Judgment?
They made Judgment and Outriders for their last 2 games. And Bulletstorm.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, that's interesting. What's the coalition doing?
I mean, they're kind of tag teaming it, but the coalition has 2 other projects in development.
Oh, okay.
From what I'm hearing.
Okay.
So
okay.
I mean, one of them's got to be a Gears game, but we know one of them is a new IP also because they want to get away from Gears, especially because like the thing too is like that second like the sequel trilogy, quote unquote, is Rod Ferguson's kind of baby, and he's not there at the moment.
He's to BioShock.
Yeah,
he's doing.
Yeah. He left Diablo to go work on BioShock 4, which he has pedigree with, right? Like he was the finisher on Infinite, so. Then after that ships, he'll come back to Coalition to wrap up that Gears trilogy.
Well, their franchises need to fix. Eternal. Oh no, was it? What's the other one? Perfect Dark.
Yeah,
we'll make that happen eventually.
Yeah. Ironically enough, he went to the company that was supposedly going to buy it off of Microsoft.
That's crazy.
Man, Gears. I need Gears 6. I just want to know what happens.
I know it. So I'm gonna ask you. Because that game was you made a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder what they were going to do. Is it going to be like a
there's got to be
like, oh, we're deciding there's like a core.
There's going to be a canonical choice.
Yeah,
and I mean, I have a feeling I know which choice it is, but we can discuss that at a later date, I guess. Gears 5 though, real good, highly recommended. Hivebuster is also very good.
Oh, Hivebuster is amazing. The fact that you just got it for free was a cool experience, and maybe they should do more of those things.
Yeah,
maybe I think to make people excited.
I think more companies should do more of those things. You know, like Uncharted: Lost Legacy, Spider-Man: Miles Morales, Gears, Hivebusters. You know, I mean, Halo Infinite was supposed to be that for Halo, right? I mean, we were supposed to get a new campaign like every 18 months to 2 years.
We were supposed to get couch co-op too, Corey, but you know, hey, things change.
Yeah, well, I don't think Xbox really knows what's going on ever. I'm gonna be honest with you; they never seem to know. Anyways, we're about to talk about that right now, mostly because our topic tonight is more of a selfish, personal topic for me. I've been kind of stuck in this rut of playing and purchasing games and knowing where to buy them and where to buy them, as somebody who avoids PC gaming, because I just have had terrible experiences building PCs in the past. Consoles are my happy place. I feel like, and I've said this over and over again, and you know, I host an Xbox podcast with Josh, and I love the platform, but I gotta tell you, the last 6 months, really the last year and a half, but really the last 6 months, I've just had this real gut feeling like I shouldn't be investing in buying games there anymore. And so, like, do I buy these games on PlayStation? I don't know. I don't really care for the controller or the platform, like actually using it. It's just a foreign device to me, really. I play the exclusives, and that's kind of it. The Switch is not going to be as powerful to run the games that I want to play or even get the games I want to play. Like Destiny is never coming to Nintendo Switch 2, right? It's just not games like that. So like I've just been, and granted, it's probably because of my a lot of brain issues up here, but like I've had this weird crippling stress of like I'm not buying games because I don't know where to buy them, for better or for worse. So I'm a fan of Xbox. I like the controller. I like the ecosystem. I like the store. It works for me. I enjoy their exclusives. I think Game Pass is good. I think it's great. I think their backwards compatibility program is great. I have a lot of quote unquote non-gamer friends there that play on the platform, and chat makes sense. In console chat makes sense for us to use because they're never going to use Discord. They're never going to use cross platform chat functionality. Right. So, and Nintendo is obviously got a Nintendo, and that's not going to be at least for now, a place where you're going to play a lot of these big multiplayer games or these, large AAA experiences outside of Nintendo. Cyberpunk was a nice experience, but there are, like Doom and Wolfenstein before it, there are better places to play those games if you want fidelity and frame rates and all that kind of stuff. And then, LeRon, especially after we talked about the PlayStation 6 leaks last week from Moore's Law is Dead, like what they seem to be attempting with their handheld and their console, and really trying to build a real multi-platform ecosystem. It feels like what I wanted Xbox to do with their handheld, right? Like you can buy your games here, you can play them on the go, you can play them on the main console. It really feels like they are looking at Steam and taking a page out of Steam's page and like, okay, we can do this. We just need to execute, right? And hopefully they do a better job than they did on their live service initiative on this. But I don't know, man. I've been thinking more and more of just like kind of slowly migrating over to PlayStation to play the games that I know are never going to either come to Game Pass or be available. You look at Final Fantasy 16's sales on Xbox were, I think they said less than 300,000 units on Xbox.
Yeah.
Which is
was that worldwide or was that
yes.
Okay? Because I know
only on Xbox though.
Because I know the Xbox Series like had a better adaptation rate than the Xbox One did in Japan.
Right, but Final Fantasy 16. Most of this reason is because it was a 3-year-old game, right? People who played it probably bought a PlayStation or a PC to play it.
Wait. 16 is no. There's no way. There's no way 16's been out for 16.
It's been out for at least 2 years, maybe 3.
Came out in 2023, I believe, because that was
okay.
one of my.
I was about to say, hold on, because I don't even have the PC version of it yet. And that's just because I've been dragging my feet buying it. Because
I think that was the problem, right? I think Sony was holding off, and then I think Square Enix finally decided that, hey, we're gonna start pushing these games out, even though the contract is probably done with PlayStation. I think they got 2 years on 16. And they got 2 years on 7.
On 7,
remake.
yeah. Well, yeah, which was a lot longer. Which is a lot longer now because like Xbox just got 7, right? Remake, right?
It's not out yet. 7. It's coming out it says this winter. It's going to drop on Switch 2 and Xbox the same day.
They're about to make my prediction true. I feel like Final Fantasy VII
16 on Steam came out in 2024, September 17th, 2024. So
Yeah.
it's about a year later, and then it's coming to Xbox and Switch.
Yeah.
2026, I think, is when it's coming out.
They're about to make my prediction true about the 7 remake project. They're not gonna get Xbox will be happy if will be lucky if they get the first one when the third project comes out.
Yeah, well, the rumor at Tokyo Game Show is that they're going to announce the third game in this series, and they're going to announce it for all 3 platforms. It's going to be a Mass Effect 3 situation where it's going to come to everything.
Well, yeah, that's because Square Enix really screwed up this whole endeavor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. They thought PlayStation was going to grow, right? They thought PlayStation was going to be the dominant. That was going to get huge sales. Just didn't align. Yeah,
that was one. But as far as these Japanese companies go, like they haven't realized that multi-platform is the way. Only Capcom is Capcom and Sega have quite figured it out. But all the other companies, they're like, because I mean, like even to an extent, like Atlas, technically Atlas and Sega are the same company and stuff like that. They still are having like one-to-one releases, versus multi-platform and stuff like that.
But another reason for that though is that the Atlas and most Atlas games and like stuff like Yakuza comes to Game Pass relatively soon. Yeah. Either day and date or relatively soon after. Like Metaphor is already on Game Pass and it came out less than a year ago, right?
Yeah, which word on the street is that Game Pass is proving to be like a sales killer for these games.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at too. Is like we had a question about this. I should have added it in, but I felt like we weren't going to go in this direction. But since we did, I can try to find it real quick. But Xbox has just trained their players not to buy games.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. That's definitely the sad part. Because I feel I get it. Like gamers want to feel rewarded, and when you get a subscription service that's giving them everything, including the kitchen sink, it's hard to like put the genie back in the bottle once that happens and stuff like that. I knew years ago when Microsoft said they were doing this approach with it. Well, Xbox is doing this approach with it because I can't say Microsoft wholly. Microsoft's the home company, the parent company. I knew they were looking for trouble, and Sony sat there and they weathered that whole thing about we're not turning PlayStation Plus into a clone of Game Pass, and I was also one of the people that was like, man, maybe they should I was saying they have to do day and date, they can do day and a quarter later, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's proven that hey, we're starting to hear reports from actual developers and publishers saying this gouged our sales, or something was lackluster because there was no. They thought that the subscription for Game Pass would have increased the attachment rate, and they're finding the opposite way. It wasn't even doing that well on Game Pass, and I think the Geiger count they use for Game Pass is the average play time, in the first week. And, I think what was dismal, some people were barely playing 3 hours worth of a game, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also you look at some of these developers, and some of them are coming out and saying it wasn't even worth porting the game to Xbox.
Yeah,
that sales number was negligible almost.
Yeah, either the ports or just or having to get it playable across both the Series S and the Series X and stuff like that. I knew the Series S was going to basically you remember the movie Misery when she took the sledgehammer to home dude's ankles and stuff like that. I knew the Series S was going to do that to overall impact of Xbox's sales. I knew it.
Yeah, I guess, but then you have these same companies porting it down to Nintendo Switch and selling 10 times as much as the Xbox version. So
that's insane because I look at Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Perfect example. I feel like that game should, by all intents and purposes, that game should have been a cloud game to play on the Switch, and they managed to get that. They managed to get
Yeah.
They managed to get The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and like they managed to get these games into these cartridges.
Mhm.
I'm not saying they were the best, but out of all of them, Alien Isolation was probably the best out of
I mean,
all those ports.
they said it was better than the Xbox One base version on the
Yeah,
Switch. So,
yeah.
but also like I think you have to remember, especially Alien Isolation, you had like they ported that to mobile before it came to Switch, also, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was on
Yeah.
mobile. I didn't know it was on mobile.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so like I
Learned
think
something every day.
they had that practice of porting it to like mobile tech, and
Yeah.
I think that's, we talked a little bit about this last week too, but I think that's why some games seem to be not running well on Switch 2s because it's mobile ARM technology instead of x86, which
Yeah.
is impacting certain games too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, and I think that's like where PlayStation's handheld potentially can compete, is like it's a PlayStation in a handheld.
I have my eye on it for sure, because like I definitely am I definitely am in that realm of like high end like portable hardware right now. That being said, I'm not spending $1,400 for Legion Go 2. They can go jump off and take a flying leap.
Yeah, and I think
that's almost criminal.
That's insane.
Who
yeah,
is that
now that
for? Right?
Right. Now that $900 price tag on the Xbox ROG Ally, looks very swallowable,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And the sad part is like they have virtually the same hardware.
Mhm.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys about that because I'm not one. I mean, I have a 4070 RTX, so I'm not doing anything else. I'm okay on PC. But when it comes to Switch, I have Switch 2. I've enjoyed handhelds more because it's a bigger system now. I've always complained that, I mean, if I'm going to play a big game, I don't want to be constrained to a small system where the character is 2 centimeters high. I just feel like something gets lost in translation. I know people like the handheld experience, but a lot of those games were very big pixels where it made sense handheld. But when you start talking about like big, beefy, chunky games, like think about like a Baldur's Gate 3, playing that on an 8-inch screen where it's so detailed, constrained in what you're doing with the interface, it feels like that's not the right place for it. So it is weird that we're now in this spot. I get it. Some people just want to play and grind and wherever they want to play, but I like the idea of a dockable system, right? Like on the go, but I can dock it and still play it in the big screen. So I love the hybrid mentality. What I don't love about most of these handhelds are the actual interface and the controls suck. I mean, I think why the Portal is cool because it's essentially like using your DualSense. And that's why I think the Xbox ROG Ally, because it essentially has a Xbox control inside. It feels like you're using a real high-end, control scheme. And that's why I've struggled with the Switch 2. So what I'm actually getting for the Switch 2 is this weird-ass thing where they have it from MobilePad where it puts some rails in to the Switch 2. So then you can put any of your Switch third-party controllers or even the original Switch Joy-Cons on, so it's actually attached. But for me, I've always loved third-party Joy-Cons that feel like more like it won't charge, but still, it feels like I actually am not constrained by really crappy Joy-Con controls. I feel like Joy-Cons are the worst way to play. Noah would say he put Joy-Cons on a handheld controller because if you look at the Pro controller, it isn't just a Joy-Con that you take. It's actually a real controller. So that's why I think we need to get beyond like a lot of like even the Steam Deck and something like the original Legion and things like that, where it's kind of like more squared away. It's not exactly that ergonomic. I think we really need to really embrace ergonomics in these devices rather than just here's controls and sticks and things like that make it better.
Yeah, which is why the Xbox ROG Ally seems like it's going in that direction, which is good because I mean, like I have both the original ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X, and for both of them, like I had to put like an actual like not so much a grip style, but more like an actual exterior case on it to get just a little bit better of a handhold on them.
Yeah, makes total sense. So I feel like
Yeah.
if we can get there where we're not like you're not cheated with like the real, sticks and triggers and full size where people with adult hands like yourself, LeRon and Corey, I've got small hands, but real buttons that aren't little chiclets and you feel like you're cheated because that's what it came with. I feel like, and I hate to say it,
I
people
feel
say
like it's the
it's not
world's
very
best controller.
exactly. People say, well, it's
Well,
not
the
portable. I'm
world's
like,
best current
are
controller.
yes, but people say like it's not portable. I'm like, are you really putting the Switch or a ROG Ally or any of those things in your pocket? No, you're putting them in a backpack if you take them to go. Majority of the time, you're probably playing it on your couch, right?
I don't know.
It's maybe
I hear
plugged
it's the
in.
time that Jinko jeans are coming back, Todd.
Yeah.
Jinko pipes. They're coming back.
Yeah,
Big pockets.
I feel like a lot of people are making these excuses for like, I'm going to spend $300 for $200 for a DualSense Edge or something like that. But when I'm okay with a really not great control scheme on a $1,400 mobile PC, right? It's just this disconnect with people saying like, so, but you complain about like just the regular DualSense. It's a horrible controller. Everything. You're okay with tiny little chiclets and you're doing that. So I feel like people make excuses for what they want to do, but I think we all can all agree we want better controls and interfaces for that handheld experience.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is wild. Now, for instance, if you're gonna spend $1,400 for the Legion Go 2, just throw an extra $200 and buy a beefy like gaming laptop. For real. Like number one, you'll get the screen real estate, you'll be able to plug any controller in you want into it, and you'll actually have the power to play these damn games.
And you can plug it into your big TV too. It's very
Exactly.
easy.
Yeah,
HDMI will
exactly.
go
The
out,
HDMI
have
out.
it
Yep.
there. Yeah, if you need to access the keyboard, it's right there on the laptop. I did it with my old one. I actually have a long ass HDMI cable from my desktop to my OLED that I can do as well. And my
Yeah.
keyboard is my 8-bit DOE keyboard. It's wireless. I can do that too. So
Is that the
lots of
NES
ways-
one?
Yeah, it's the NES one. It just doesn't have the numpad, which I don't know, guys. I'm a numpad guy. I like crunching numbers. I don't. Yeah, I'm just that guy.
I have one on my keyboard, Todd.
Hey, you know what? I'm a simple man. I like it. It's good to go. My son made. I don't know. The cool kids are doing all these like weird keyboards now with like all the different keycaps and things like that. I saw one that looks like bread, which is weird.
Mhm.
And the LEDs and all these things. And they want the loudest keyboard in the world. I mean, if you got kids, you do not want a loud keyboard. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got roommates, wives, spouses. Who wants all these loud keyboards? The clickety clackety, right?
No, like
You guys
I
like
know.
that?
No,
No,
I do not.
no.
No.
Yeah,
I don't.
weird.
I don't get it.
People are weird. Oh well. So Corey, it's interesting to talk about the way you play, where you're headed, and I am curious because it sounds like Xbox will have a handheld. PlayStation's talking about having a handheld. Nintendo already does, and PCs will have handhelds as well. And it just becomes, I mean, I think eventually the only games you won't be able to play on PC, because I think that's the final domain of modern systems, is Nintendo. So I'm just curious, would a ROG Ally Xbox get you to the point where you could play PlayStation games, Xbox games, PC, but with that like tested for it's a better experience. You don't have like a billion drivers. It's more like a console experience that you're familiar with, but you can also dock it. So you can then put it and have it like a big screen experience too. Would that be like, and then have Switch as be like that's like the old school because Nintendo will move. I mean, it feels like that is the future that we're headed. And I like that hybrid nature to do what you want, but still get that big screen experience, couch co-op games like that. Is that
I mean,
an
so
option?
the problem with the Xbox ROG Ally, well, a couple things, I guess. Like, it doesn't play every game that you've purchased on Xbox. Like, it's not an Xbox; it's a PC. So, like, anything
Correct.
you've purchased, any backwards compatible, any third party game that's not play anywhere, any indie game that's not play anywhere, you can't play on it.
How
I think
far
they
back
said-
do you want to go?
Well,
That's a
I
question
still
because I always say.
I mean, there's still
yeah.
some 360 games that I play, like the Gears trilogy. I play
But
often.
even remember OG Xbox? I think there's
Mhm.
only 14 OG Xbox games that are backwards compatible on modern systems.
Yeah, I mean, like Psychonauts. I actually went back and played that before Psychonauts 2 came out. I know that was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, but Knights of the Old Republic, right? I mean, I
You
know
get it for
there's
like $4
more,
on Steam.
Yeah, I know there's more modern versions of that, but
See, I'm gonna be the bad guy.
I know.
How many of those?
Please be the devil's
I just
advocate.
I refuse to do PC gaming. I had 2 PCs that I spent money on, like large amounts of money on, that died before a year. So like,
or you just talked about your PlayStation.
I know, but I don't play my I don't play my PlayStation.
And how many Xbox? I mean, the Xbox 360 had issues.
I've never had an issue with a piece of Xbox hardware.
Dishonored killed mine. Oh my, LeRon left us. But
Yeah,
I was going to refresh. But I was going to say, like, how. I mean, I've had issues with PC, but I feel like it's from an era where you don't have something that is more of a console like experience. I think we're getting more of those. I think with the Steam Deck, where it's like runs on, they actually qualify games to be there. It's not just like the Wild Wild West. It's like you can try, and they actually have drivers and everything like that. It's more of a contained experience where you don't have to have like 18 different updates with PC. Yeah. I totally get you. Like like that type of experience, I think has got to go away, and I think Windows is going to get there, because we did hear that the ROG Ally Xbox interface is coming to the new Legion Go 2. It's going to go to other systems, so I think we're going to get more of that.
Windows is
console-like validity, and almost like we want users to have a good experience versus have to track down drivers, Windows updates, because you know what, that's not good for anybody. And anybody that
that's like
it's painless.
Also, half the reason I don't want to do PC stuff is because all I hear about is LeRon fiddling with stuff on PC stuff for hours, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't have.
It's never painless. It's gotten
in
better,
my defense, and just in my defense, I like tinkering with that stuff.
I know you do. I don't. That's what I'm saying.
He likes looking at his BIOS and like, I know I don't need to update it, but there's a new version.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I've actually broken some stuff because I was like, I'm gonna get this BIOS update right now. I'm gonna get this BIOS update right now.
We all do. We run like we have to clean out our registry. We have to do this stuff. It's like, why? Because we're sickos. Because
or right before I go to bed at night, like I see there's a graphics card update for my RTX 4080.
That all sounds
it's running fine, right?
That sounds
graphics update comes out every week, and it's like for this new game, it's like, and it will destroy your computer. You have to roll it back, and it's like then you spend 18 hours doing that. So
you guys aren't helping your case.
We are sickos. No. That's what I'm saying.
No. There's a sweet spot.
Don't be like us.
But there's a sweet spot for guys like you, because like we watch people do it forever with their fucking cell phones. Just don't do the updates. Don't do the updates until it gets to a point where it's like, oh, I cannot play this because I need to update it.
Well, I would say I think that's the whole point of this. I think both Steam and Xbox and Windows realize that if they want to really make, and Xbox has even talked about this, like PC, they said they want to make PC the best gaming platform, which means, hey, Xbox is probably going to be, the console is going to be a lesser.
Yeah, they've got to get out of the way.
The next console, if they can, they have to figure out either they have to leave their console community behind, or they have to figure out the licensing stuff, because the next Xbox is going to be a PC.
Well, I would say actually PC does a better job at licensing, because the majority of those games stay there. If you want the deepest library, you go with PC. Those games don't get away; they don't get delisted. You've got them for years.
Yeah,
so I would say console's the worst experience, because
I was going to say people have the original GTA 4 and stuff. They still have the original music and all that shit.
I'm saying, like, the people who have invested in the Xbox console, like, those games won't.
How many is that now, though? I mean, if we think about, truly, if you think about the actual number of people that would balk at that, I have to say this in all respect.
Do it.
I mean,
Microsoft is looking at billions of gamers. They're not looking at, unfortunately, people that have been there from 360.
That's what I'm saying. But they're also,
and those games are available elsewhere cheaper and probably
but if you've already purchased them, how annoying is it to repurchase games unless
if you're a Dreamcast fan? I mean, if you're a Dreamcast fan, if you're a 3DS fan, if you're a Wii U fan.
Yeah, but this is, I feel like this is different than at least the Dreamcast.
I've been a lifelong PlayStation guy. I had 2 whole generations where I had to keep my old systems to play the shit.
The PS3.
That's a big problem with PlayStation 2.
Well,
right? I mean,
Corey, that's why I have a 360, so I can play all of those games that were delisted and no longer available on the OG Xbox that you can't play anywhere else. So it comes to a point, it's like, yeah, I'm going to probably not buy another PlayStation, so I'll keep my PlayStation 5, and there's a place to play it. I just think it's kind of silly, the old days of old hardware that was on disc and things like that, that maybe not even available digitally and had licenses will follow you forward. And I think Xbox is going to try, but I think they have to say that you have to be willing, just like Nintendo. Remember when Nintendo went to the Switch? How many games came to the Switch for free versus you had to start over again?
yeah.
I think that's just the reality.
I don't.
You got to cut off the limb eventually.
I mean, I don't doubt that Microsoft is going to leave a bunch of people behind. I don't doubt that one bit.
I think they'll do as best as they
yeah.
can within what's in their control. Just kind of like the backwards games that came forward where they said, hey, we'll do it as it's possible, but licenses, things like that expire and what they can bring forward. And beyond that, then you can say, hey, that game's available on Steam for $2. Awesome. And now I can get Steam. So I don't know, or maybe Windows does it. You know, if I would say this as a devil's advocate, if Microsoft was better, they had actually had a Windows store that rivaled Steam back in the day, and this would be an easy solution. Fortunately, as we know, with Windows and Microsoft, they have not made a competent gaming platform for decades, and now they have the Xbox store within PC, which is great, but it's a very smaller library compared to Steam.
Yeah.
So I think it's looking back is something where they realize the people that care about the 360 and older is going to be such a smaller group that yes, they're passionate, but quite honestly, they're not going to move their dollars. They're not going to have the dollars invested to move those games forward. And well,
it's the pre-show topic we did, right? Where like, these companies are going to start moving away from old people like us and start focusing on the generations after us, right? And most of them want to be on PCs or tablets or something that's, convenience trumps quality every time. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, I honestly think that's why the Switch was so popular, at a point where like it was just convenient it was cheap, it was convenient, I mean, The Witcher 3 sold 3 million units on the Switch, right? I mean, like, why? It has no business selling 3 million units on a console like that, but it did, right? Because it was convenient, it was cheaper. Well, I mean, MSRP cheaper. The Witcher is like $5 all the time, but, it's just one of those things. And so, like, I look at that and I realize that obviously generations behind us don't care unless they're like video game historians at this point. Like, they're interested in the history of games and they look back at the previous generations and interested in what was popular and what wasn't and want to try them out. But like, ultimately, and I know like the only games that really matter in that way are Microsoft's published games, and Xbox is kind of what they're trying to do, because everything is available everywhere else, right? And I totally understand that, and and I'm just in the minority of that group, but it's really hard to invest in that platform at this point, because that most of that stuff's not going to move forward probably in one way or another.
I am curious with Microsoft. I feel like there's been like a deaf ear on certain franchises with Xbox. Crimson Skies, Viva Pinata, certain things like that. It feels like it's like, why don't they put their efforts to actually like just take that game, or some of those games that are kind of like, probably not going to be able to move forward, just make a remake or a remaster or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a big effort, but at least make them playable and available.
Yeah.
Get a studio that does those type of games and say, hey, it's free on Game Pass now as part of your subscription, and we can also sell it on Steam and other platforms. Seems like it's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those, especially Viva Pinata, is on Rare Replay, which is an Xbox One game, so those will move forward theoretically. But, something like Crimson Sky, that's backwards compatible on Xbox, but that's not moving over.
And it's not available anywhere. I don't think it's even on PC, right? And people would love to play that game. I mean, Grab by the Ghoulies. I mean, I know it's on Rare Replay, but once again, are they putting Rare Replay on other platforms? Otogi. Think about Otogi. A lot of people don't know what that is. That is a From Software game on Xbox.
I remember that.
Exclusive. And it's stuck there on the original Xbox. Did not travel forward because of things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you even think of games like the Mistwalker games, like Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. Those are Xbox 360 exclusive games that aren't anywhere else. Oh, I guess you could play Blue Dragon on DS if you want. Good luck.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, hey, and do you know why I bought my original Xbox? I'm sure I've told the story before. There was an exclusive Buffy the Vampire Slayer game by the Collective on the original Xbox. It's not playable anywhere. PC, anywhere. It's stuck there. That's why I have a 360 that can play that game. I own the disc. It's criminal that Buffy can't come out and say, play me on modern systems. So there we go. Corey, I don't know what to tell you. If Buffy's not on the system, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And we're getting a remake of a Buffy. We're getting a reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer on TV. So come on, let's make that happen.
Is it going to be good, Todd?
I want Chaos Bleeds. I want the original. This one. I want a
Chaos Bleeds. Oh man,
I know that one came out to GameCube and everywhere else. So I mean, find it where you can play it. Of course, it's not forward compatible.
Give my damn Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, please.
I mean, that's I mean,
tell Nintendo that they need to help you with that.
I mean, it's not
Dennis Dyack. What's your money?
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. Is it's Dennis Dyack is holding it up. It's not Nintendo or Konami.
It's kind of like Eternal Darkness. When's that coming to GameCube, NSO?
Night Dive said they wanted to remake it, and they're trying.
Almighty.
So, out of anybody, they might be the ones.
He's a plague to humanity. That dude makes everybody unhappy.
Well, you didn't like what was the last game he did? Too Human.
Human. Oh yeah, and he tried to reboot Eternal Darkness or something else. He did. Too Human was actually fun, but man, what he proclaimed that game to be.
He over advertised that one.
Sounds like Peter Molyneux.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, R.I.P. Lionsgate or no Lions. Not
Lionhead.
Yeah,
Lionsgate. That's a
Lionsgate still exists. They're still making movies. They're still making R.I.P.
A lot of those members moved over to Rare to work on Everwild. Nothing games canceled, and they all got laid off again.
I hope Fable's good. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, next year is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. We're getting 4 games that have built that platform, and
wait.
I think.
What is that game that Phil Spencer mentioned that he didn't tell us what it was?
Halo.
Halo?
It's a remake of the first game. They're remaking Combat Evolved.
Was Combat Evolved? So this will be like from the ground floor. It's not an Ultimate Edition, right? Where it's just going to be
it's a ground up remake in Unreal Engine 5 Halo Combat Evolved.
Okay. So that makes sense.
I think it's only the campaign because they're still supporting the multiplayer for Infinite, and they are still working on Halo 7, apparently, is still in the works. So I'm going to ask you a question. This is open to everybody. So if we get that, but they say, hey, now the Infinite multiplayer, it's on PlayStation. I mean, that would be awesome. Is that like a good, yes. Make good? I think it's awesome because you got a great.
Yeah, I don't see how it would not be successful. I do not see.
I actually think the Master Chief Collection is going to PlayStation before Infinite.
Corey's been saying this for like 2 months now. I think he's literally trying to will it into existence.
I've been saying it. I think I've been saying it for like a year.
Yeah, but you've gotten hot about it in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So the Master Chief Collection is not exactly a spring chicken these days.
No, but there's still support. Well, they recently stopped support, but then they they have a team that is still running updates for it.
Okay.
What are you updating at this point?
But it came out in 2011, I think.
Sure, but
it's
people still love.
Years old.
I mean, Gears of War came out in 2006, and they just released it on PlayStation.
I know, Corey, but what I'm talking about is to get that conundrum of: are you just taking a really old game? When you want people to play like those games for the first time, do you want them to be like 16-year-old versions of them that, yes, they're prettier than when they launched, or do you want them to be like the best they've ever been? I know PlayStation gets roasted for like Last of Us, but because they wanted that game to look the best ever, it's the best way to play it. It's got updates, all these state. I just feel like if Microsoft it just can't port stuff and get people excited about a franchise. It's like, this is everybody's a lot of people's first experience with Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's just an okay experience, it looks okay, but the textures are dated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
I feel like that could be problematic.
Intentional. I think they have to be more intentional when they bring their biggest series now to these other consoles, especially when they're saying Halo matters in 2025. I don't know. I just feel like it can't just be, here's the games, play them, because maybe something new is coming.
Yeah. So within the Halo community, Halo 4, 5, and Infinite are not looked at fondly. Halo 2, 3, and Reach are looked at extremely fondly. And those are the games people want on on other platforms because of what they meant to the Xbox, what they meant to the franchise, what they mean to people. I personally think Halo 4 is the best game in the series.
Great.
But
it's got Rare employees, right, that were on that game. It looked beautiful on the 360.
I mean,
game.
People left Retro to go work on that.
Yeah,
like it has total Metroid Prime influences, which then once they got laid off from 343, they went back to Retro to do Metroid Prime, which looks just like Halo 4.
Yeah.
So, it's one hand feeds the other, I guess. But like, it's I think people want that because if you're going to remake the first game's campaign, and Halo 2 had that kind of remake remaster hybrid thing going on, Halo 4 looks like an Xbox One game, runs like an Xbox One game essentially. I think people will be fine with that. I also think people know that these are old games, and if you port them over, like, they're going to understand. Similar with Gears.
I don't think people are as accepting because there's a lot of people that actually don't feel Halo is relevant these days, especially after their series on Paramount Plus did not deliver. Infinite had so many struggles in regards to delays, and when it came out, had a very small audience considering it was where it was. I kind of feel like Halo has to be handled not just with, hey, it's Halo, you love that game. With a lot of people that maybe don't have experience with it, and it has to be like, this is the best way you'll play the first Halo.
Yeah.
Games going forward, that's the best version. It's not going to be the 2011 version. It's going to be the newest version of how you play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what? If they get slow rolled with the best version, I think that's the best thing you want to treat that franchise with versus just say, here's the Master Chief Collection. Yeah, it's dated and looks old, but you just want to play that. I just feel like that's a disservice, and that is not caring for your biggest franchise that you ever had.
Yeah, I two things. First of all, I think they've done a lot of work to the Master Chief Collection to make it a very great product in terms of a history perspective. They've really done a great job of making it look and feel like classic Halo, right? And then the other point, which is a dumb point because I know this game is really popular and I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments for this, so everybody go ahead.
Here it comes.
Down. But everybody's favorite multiplayer game on PlayStation is Helldivers, and that game plays like garbage. So,
he went there.
Oh, really? I didn't have any problems with it.
I mean, the first time I played it was after playing Gears of War Reloaded and Fortnite, and those games play infinitely better than.
Wait, you played it after Gears of War Reloaded?
I didn't play it until it came to Xbox.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So I played it at launch. I had so much fun with it. I didn't have any
everybody.
I think the controls are really bad.
Oh my god!
Really?
Oh my god! Here we go. He said this about Monster Hunter Wilds too, by the way, Todd.
But this is. But here's the thing: people don't. I feel like people don't care about third person shooting controls on PlayStation as much as they do as Xbox. Because Xbox grew up with Gears, right? And Gears is like the pinnacle of third person shooting mechanics, in my opinion. and then
I will say this as a
PlayStation
newbie.
grew up with Uncharted, which those games.
I would just say as a newbie who doesn't play a lot of multiplayer, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I thought it was fun. It's a different type of game than Gears or others, so I think it's just hard to say like Gears is this way, because Gears is very much a constrained experience, where Helldivers 2 is just a crap fest of things happen, and you just got to get into it. And and it's not like Halo, where it's so
because Halo's on Halo's on rails.
Yeah, and
Halo's on rails, and you get the audience, you get the AI, which attracts to it. I feel like with Helldivers 2, it's such a different experience. It's like comparing it to those and saying it's different, but not respectful of other people. I think maybe we're Xbox players, maybe to say games have advanced beyond Gears and things like that. It's a different way to play.
I'm saying from a purely a mechanic shooting perspective and movement.
I thought it was awesome.
Perspective.
I didn't have any issues with it. I played Gears and those things, so I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I disagree, because I feel like
I'm so glad there's another voice of reason on the show tonight.
I just think Xbox players feel like their games are, and this is just weird. I hear about it. Xbox has a better controller. Their games are better. They do this. I'm like, I feel like they're trapped in the past, and it's like everybody is.
I think every fan base has that problem though, because Xbox gamers are like this is home of the shooters. So like every shooter has to play like it would on an Xbox,
But those shooters from the 360 era, unfortunately, that's where Xbox unfortunately hit its primary, because Xbox One era, they didn't have a new huge franchise in that type of mode.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have a lot of wanting
every
games
game to come
anyway.
Well, exactly. But you know what I'm saying, Corey? It's like, so I think and then PC, it's like, it's lauded. It's done great. So I don't think, and PC is the game that they don't care about any of the concept between PlayStation. I think they're just like agnostic. So I feel like there's an Xbox arrogance about this is how you play. And if you're different, maybe it doesn't feel as good.
I mean, I feel like you guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. Because to me, Gears of War Reloaded feels old. I think it does.
I agree. I agree with that. It feels old.
How?
Because they didn't update the gameplay; they just made it prettier. And give it a better resolution.
I'm talking purely about shooting a gun at an enemy. Like,
I felt like I had no issues, and I've played obviously in every console. I don't like Splatoon. I play that. I feel like I've played Destiny. And I know what a good game feels like. And to me, it felt like it's a different approach to it, but still felt really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Helldivers controls great at all. I think it's very poor, honestly. I played.
My son is so critical, matches. Corey. He would have told me, Dad, the refresh rate or something's bad, and he's like, he just keeps going back.
I wonder if it just runs bad on Xbox then, because I had dropped frames. It was like the movement.
Xbox is probably the worst way to play, unfortunately, compared to beefy GPs and unfortunately. PlayStation
and a good SSD that handles load times like the PlayStation's does. Like honestly, their SSD is performing better in most regards than even high end Gen 5 SSDs on the PC right now.
Yeah, well, when my PlayStation stays on long enough, maybe I'll play a game on it.
We're gonna start a fund to help Corey replace his PlayStation 5 with a brand new one.
I mean, I have the money to replace it. I just am. That's the whole point of this conversation. Is like I'm really struggling whether or not I should the whole problem is I'm struggling on trying to play games where I think I should be playing them, where I want to play them, and not spending $1,500 on a PC.
So I think that's
here's the thing about it though. If you spend $1,500 on a PC, you won't spend that $1,500 anywhere else for a long fucking time. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Yeah, I don't know. The last time I spent $1,500 on a PC, I didn't get a graphics card. I didn't get a monitor. I didn't even get a plug for it. So
you bought from a crappy vendor.
Well. I'm going to say this. I think what Corey needs is a more console-like PC experience. I think that will solve the equation versus building your own PC. I think that's great if you enjoy doing it. It's
apparently another Steam box is coming. Apparently.
I think that's going to happen too. But I do feel like a ROG Xbox Ally that's dockable will give you the experience you've been wanting in
Yeah.
a PC with a with the best library in gaming. Let's put it that way. Best library in gaming, because let's put it this way. Console libraries suck. They are smaller. They're less comprehensive. They give
They're
you less
limited.
flexibility of doing mods and things like that. You want to do mods in games? You can. PlayStation, Xbox, it's limited. And also gives you less flexibility in what you want to do with your system. I mean, I would say that. So unless you want to just stick to $500 systems, great. You've got a PS5 for that. You've got an Xbox for that. You've got a Switch for that. I think you can better spend your money with a Switch and a console like PC.
Todd, stay here, the boss rush.
90% of your thing. I feel like that. I feel like trying to get consoles over there, you're going to spend more anyways, because you have to pay for how much more like subscription services. I had to resubscribe to PlayStation Plus because I wanted to play Split Fiction online, which I feel is just so dumb that I have to pay for online to do that, where I could do it for PC. So I feel like, I know it's dumb, and yes, and PC gaming is sucky, but I feel like where we're going is someone will deliver a Steam Deck or a Xbox like experience with a PC that is a better experience. I think that's where we're going, Corey. I know that doesn't answer your question right now.
No, I'm sure that's where it's going.
I love it.
You're going to spend $1,000 on boxes for PlayStation, Xbox.
I mean, I mean, moving forward, I'm only staying on one. I'm not going to be buying both moving forward, because I don't have the time. I don't have the, I mean, I got kids in school. I got other things to worry about.
There you go. Now
You're just not going to get that Xbox. Yeah, I would say, and unfortunately, being on console, you're just not going to get the library of both platforms.
Well, I mean, PlayStation is getting the Xbox library.
Correct, but delayed.
Delayed getting it day one and all that stuff, right? Like you're going to have FOMO.
And you're lacking a lot of those experiences that are only on PC, because they are emerging, they're interesting, they're fun, they're goofy, they're weird. And that's where most of the energy is coming out of those spaces, is PC Steam, which is crazy. I mean, think of what is LeRon, what are some of the crazy experiences that are coming out? Like Peak and things like that.
I don't care about those games. Like I saw Peak, like it doesn't interest me at all. Like I have zero interest in
even to save money, Corey. Or like the games on Steam and PC are far cheaper.
Yeah, and I mean, I bought the Destiny collection when it was like $15 because I thought I was going to get a Rogue Ally at some point. But
Ninja Gaiden for 30% off, right? Or no, sorry, the Shinobi game right at the top, 30% off. I didn't play the console tax, and that game will be living on in my Steam library probably for decades. And I have to worry about somebody saying, "Oh, this isn't supported anymore." I just feel like it's a more future proofed too. Consoles, unfortunately, are not future proofed. They're always going to have gaps.
Abandon whatever plans you had post Secret Friends Unite. You're part of Boss Rush from now on. I need you here.
I know it's horrible.
I need you here.
I know it's horrible. Yeah. I've ruined.
No, I'm not firing you. No,
many years of my life. Yes, I've ruined many years of my life on PC updates and things like that. That's why I'm so glad the industry is moving forward to make PC more like console, because you know what? People just want to they like the platform. They just hate the nonsense that comes with it. 85 different drivers, 85 different manufacturers.
Well, there was a time when PC gaming was simpler, but that was back in like the Windows XP, Windows 95 days. And then as PC architecture changed, okay, so I think this is what made PC gaming complicated. PC architecture changed for one, the X8, the X32, 64, and 86 formats. Those platforms, they changed. But then, of course, hardware changed too. And I'm not talking about CPUs and RAM. I'm talking about GPUs. GPUs got exponentially I don't know, it just there was something that happened, an explosion with GPU technology and stuff like that. And then, all of a sudden now we had, developers getting crushed because do we develop for AMD? Do we develop for NVIDIA? Or do we concentrate in developing for Intel, which whatever, but I feel like PC gaming got hard in that sense because we would turn on games and say powered by NVIDIA or played best on AMD on AMD, or on Radeon, and stuff like that, and I think that's where it got complicated. And then of course, Microsoft is releasing all these new operating systems, you know, and the operating systems, like for every operating system they say is optimized for gaming, there's another one out there that, you know, is like, oh, we just threw everything we knew about gaming optimization out the door. Windows 11.
Yeah, I mean, it really Steam became the leader in PC gaming, which unfortunately, when you got the leader in that, which is a third party versus the actual maker of the OS, all these other things that can't figure out how to make a store, it makes it very crazy. And then you've got multiple. You've got basically Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA making GPUs. You've got chipsets, different RAM versions and things. It just makes it more complicated and more difficult for the developers to say, I'm going to make a great game that runs everywhere. Wait, oops, sorry, I can't because, oops, your RAM didn't work with your GPU, and your power supply sucks and all this stuff. It becomes more of a detective work, which I some people love to do. A lot of people.
And let's not start with Unreal Engine 5 tonight. Let's save that for another podcast.
No. Engines are another thing. So Corey, sorry. I hope through all of this we've supported you, we've cared you, we've held you like a little baby and said we want you to feel good. And I feel like there's a path forward. It just is going to be more simplified, and it's going to be better for everybody because it's a better place to be if they can just get it right and make it easy.
Yeah.
Consumers.
Yeah, like trust me, I'm still gonna fight the good fight, whether you're here with us or not, Todd. I'm still gonna fight the good fight for Corey because, like, I have faith in Corey, and I believe that he is literally one decision away from having the best gaming experience of his life for the rest of his life.
You know what, Corey? We're here for you. We'll make you better. We'll help you through it for your decision, regardless of what it is. We won't mock you much, but we are here for you.
I don't know. LeRon will mock me a little bit. Look at him.
LeRon, be nice.
Okay.
Okay. Be better. Be best, as our first lady says. Be best. Be best.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap that up with a nice little bow that I don't really know how to exit out of it, so we're just gonna say it's over.
Or you just join the cult. Yeah. Like, we have snacks.
Do you?
And Kool-Aid, apparently.
And not the tainted Kool-Aid either.
The cult flavored Kool-Aid.
Was it balls? The balls energy drink that PC gamers love so much.
Oh man, no man. Rest in peace, G Fuel.
Oh God.
They didn't close. They just rebranded.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, yes. Okay.
Good job. Well, good job.
They made it sound like they were done.
I know.
That's stupid marketing.
Here's what happened. FaZe Clan ended their partnership with G Fuel, and so G Fuel is now partnering with PewDiePie, and they redesigned their logo to fit more in line with PewDiePie's new channel initiative, and it backfired. So,
you want a fun fact?
Fun fact.
FaZe Clan partnered with my company that makes pizza rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I got an old swag shirt for my son, and it had pizza rolls FaZe Clan on it. And he's like, "Dad, I don't want this." I'm like, "Sorry, I try to be cool."
My son would think you're cool. He likes pizza rolls. He loves pizza rolls.
Great.
There's 2 bags of them upstairs in my freezer right now.
I mean, the bar doesn't have to be high for a 3-year-old.
No. He's 4.
Oh,
man.
4? Okay. I'm sorry. I was off by a year. I'm sorry.
Pizza rolls are the original gaming fuel.
It's true.
Yeah.
Pizza rolls and Mountain Dew.
Yep.
All right. Well, I feel like we've been running a little bit long on this, so do we want to answer questions? We don't need to answer all of them. We can answer 1 or 2, I guess.
I'll defer to Todd.
Yeah. Todd shrugs. We're narrating Todd's movements now. Audio version. Now Todd's dancing to something. Dr. Evil, pinky finger. All right, here we go. So we'll answer a couple of these if we
hang on. Let me
start running.
Hang on, I'm still here. Let me just turn my camera off because I know it's going to agitate a few people when they watch the show later.
Why? What are you doing?
I'm trying to keep this computer that I built from melting down.
Oh.
I'm doing live testing. I'm doing live.
We know you're paying attention.
I'm doing live stress testing, because like I promised a customer a computer by Friday.
The audience doesn't like when LeRon or Pat aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm invested. Like people just don't believe I'm invested.
Well,
Just do a screenshot of Laurent's face.
air
going,
quotes,
yes.
not paying attention.
Yeah. So if I do this, but you see like the little audio bubble around my photo, that means I'm engaged.
He's intentional.
Yeah. All right. Our first question comes from Alex Ramirez. He asks, what's one trend in gaming today, like live service models, remakes, or handheld PCs, that you think will still be around in 10 years? Man, I feel like they're all going to be around in 10 years.
Yeah, live service models are not going to be as prominent as they were in like the last 3 years. They're not going to be as prominent, but they're still going to be there. And like certain games like hybrids for live service models, like for example, we take Monster Hunter, Splatoon, stuff like that, like Mario Kart. Those are like live service light, without like the full on investment and stuff like that. I think handheld PCs are going to hit are going to hit equilibrium. Not saying that they're going to go away, but like the market's going to realize exactly what lane handheld PCs should be in, and that includes the entire gamut of handheld PCs, everything from the Android handhelds to like the pure cloud handhelds. Even our PC handhelds, in their iteration right now, PC handhelds feel like a gold rush right now because when the Steam Deck came out, it felt like untapped potential, and now everybody's just flocking to it, trying to find like the sweet spot and what works the best, and also trying to cater to us gamers, us PC gamers that want good performance out of this stuff. We don't want these things to be like the best. We just want to be able to play every game. And unfortunately, like for example, like I said last week, like Unreal 5 does not like the current handhelds right now, with the exception of Legion Go 2, which I haven't seen how like Metal Gear Solid, for example, plays on it. But I know right now Metal Gear Solid Delta cannot play on my ROG Ally well, Ally or Ally X and stuff like that, Remakes I think are still going to be the thing that really has like a chokehold on gaming and the industry, because we have some phenomenal remakes that have come out recently and are coming out. Like I'm going to disappear when Evil East Chronicles Final Fantasy Tactics comes out. Like I'm probably not even going to be on podcast for that when that comes out. So just prepare yourself. Find a substitute for me that night.
Yeah, I feel like the way remakes are going, right? I mean, you're going to start instead of something like Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil East Chronicles. I think you're going to see more classic games get the Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII treatment of like full on reimagined, redone from the ground up. Even maybe some of the stories even being retold in a way, right?
And the developers are starting to not half-ass it either. They're actually finding a good balance on giving us either good new quality content interspersed with the original content, or they're finding a way, like Metal Gear Solid Delta, for example. They're finding ways to make it a 1-to-1 recreation of the original game with enhancements, enhancements and something that makes it look modern without like sullying the original product.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I think when you have great games that have a great foundation, but the people that are passionate about them are significantly older, and they no longer are controlling the narrative of the game and just bringing it forward is okay. I think of games like Chrono Trigger, where great, it's an old game and people revere it, but I think it's out of touch for a great new audience that would explore it. Maybe it's a 2D HD version or something where you can make it to bring to life, or maybe make it a hand.
Chrono Trigger would be awesome if it was done like live alive. Oh my god!
Yeah, or just make it a hand animated version. Think about that, where these characters look amazing, like anime characters, and you could bring it and give it that life. Because I feel like there's so much reverence for a lot of these older series, where I feel like you're missing out because you're getting these series where I feel like people are narratives have changed. And yes, it's great, there's great baseline, but you can bring it and modernize it and make it respectful and make it amazing. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is finding a new audience. It's taking something that was revered. You can still play the old version, but make it awesome. There's a lot of games that are like that, and that's why I feel like we've got to respect the old stuff that's out there, but make it the best version that people that have never experienced that, and give it them that way. Because I feel like if you half-ass it and just give them like a mild treatment, you're just going to get a half-hearted reception and move on. So I think there's a way to approach this in a way that Resident Evil's been great at, and I think other franchises could learn from that. And I think that's where we go forward with it. But other than that, Corey, I think it's the handheld option or the hybrid, I think, is the future of gaming. Handheld's great, but I still want a big screen experience where there is amazing stuff on screen that shouldn't just be squished to an 8-inch experience, just like movies. If you told me I should watch Christopher Nolan's films on a 6-inch tablet, that's not a great. That's not respecting the material.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it should be a play how you want, but don't restrict the platform or the game to just the worst way to experience it.
Remember back in the PS2 era, live in your world, play in ours. Remember that?
I mean,
I love that. That's one of the best slogans.
Yep. So there's no lack of content that's available to be brought forward in an awesome new way. I wish that we would get there versus just taking games from the last 10 years and focusing on that. So that's what I'm hoping we would bring forward, is older experiences and new modern light, kind of like Zelda. I think Link to the Past could be brought forward in a great way. Same thing with Super Metroid. Telling people that they should experience only those games in the old way.
You know what, Corey? Maybe you are fired, man. Todd is speaking my love language tonight. This entire episode.
I'm telling you, man.
No, you're not fired. You're not fired. Like, I need you. But I will definitely take Todd.
I mean, I would also take Todd.
No, I'm just here
here we go, guys. After Dark is coming back.
Oh no.
I'm of an age where I realize that I'm not the future, but we need to bring people along with us. And so we shouldn't just be snobs and say you got to play it the original way as intended, because I think that's just silly.
Yeah.
It's why movies get remade. It's why experiences get remade, because we want people to play it in a way that is respectful and is amazing. Whether it's just up-resed and available on those platforms, or it's in a way that brings in new fans.
Yeah, I think the two, well, not two, but there's quite a few, but like when Paper Mario was remade on Switch and when Super Mario RPG was remade on Switch, I think those are the best ways to play those games.
Yeah.
I think that the Dead Space remake is obvious. Even though that game, there wasn't anything wrong with the 360 and PS3 version of it, like the remake is clearly the way to play.
Yes.
It now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, I think people would ultimately recommend Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake over the originals at this point. So
yeah, it's like KOTOR, right? That KOTOR remake that they keep talking about. I'm like, that's why I don't want to go back and play the old version. I want that new version that makes it amazing versus the version that showed up on the original Xbox. 24 years ago. So I think those properties need respect. I can play them, but I'm not sure I'm going to have a great experience.
You missed it, Todd. For a few weeks, in the build up to getting ready for the Final Fantasy Tactics remake, I was actually playing the original version for a few weeks. That was a prominent heavy hitter in my what we've been playing. And I got to a point in the story. I was like, you know what? If I keep going, I'm not going to want to play the remake. So I had to put it down.
Yeah. Link's Awakening also on Switch was
I love that game. I tried it on the original GBA and I'm like, I fell off. And when it came out, I'm like, I love this. So yeah. Let's get more respectful options to bring in people to the old in the past, right? That's what we want. These games are great. It's not because they just lived at a time. It's because they are great games.
All right. Sam Hall writes in via YouTube comment. What's the last game that completely surprised you? Something you didn't expect to enjoy as much as you did? I mean, my answer is very clear. It's Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I wasn't even going to play that game, and it was on Game Pass, and I was looking for a game to play, and I thought, I'll just try it out. It's one of my favorite games of all time now, like hands down.
Yeah,
Full
if we're
stop.
talking new games, like yeah, probably. I think also Clear Obscure would be it for me, but also I'd have to say Sea of Stars.
Hmm. Yeah,
I didn't think I was going to fall in love with that game the way I did.
I know you still talk about that.
Yes.
Game. Death's Door for me also.
Oh, that's another good one, and I bought the
that game.
Steam version when it came out.
Mm-hmm. I love that game.
I bought Death's Door before it came to Game Pass. I'm like, I wish I waited because that game just did not connect with me. But it was FOMO. More so than yeah. I know. I wish I loved it. I just struggle with certain things of it. But I totally get it.
I didn't really like it the first time I played it either. And then I was actually when I played it, I was actually on vacation. I had just finished Link's Awakening. And the second time I had Death's Door on my Switch, and I was like, I'm in the mood for Zelda. This kind of has a Zelda vibe. I'm just going to play it. And like at first it was like really hard, and I was like, I don't know. But then people were like, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, I gotta at least give it the old college try, and ended up finishing it on vacation. Like I played the whole thing on vacation.
Yeah,
I got to a point where it just clicked.
Tunic's another game. Is like I just really wanted to love that game, and it just did not click with me at all.
Yeah, I tried Tunic after Death's Door, and it was too slow. It was too vague. Right?
I love the aesthetic. I just wanted it to be more of what I was expecting, but that's my issue, not the games.
Yeah,
a lot of people love that game. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, is it a game problem or is it a me problem? And I would say Death's Door and Tunic are my problem. So enjoy those games.
Tunic was a bit my problem. Yeah, I was hearing everybody falling in love with it, and it just did not latch on to me the way I thought it would have.
Which is a disappointment because I love this aesthetic, I love the style, and I love the story. But yeah, not great for me. For me, I have two games. One is called Fist, which is just a weird name. I
remember that game.
You're in the deep dark. Yeah, it's called Forged in Shadow Torture. This bunny with these weird like mech elements. It is so fun because it's a Metroidvania, but it's more like I would say combat that involves like bashing rather than guns and things like that. It's great. I love it. It's beautiful. It's available everywhere. And that game just took my heart and I loved it. It was the right mix of difficulty, fun, beauty, and a cool story. And it didn't have a lot of like fluff in it. So it's available and probably pretty cheap, but it's great. I love that game.
One of the first Sony China Hero projects they brought over.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Yep. And then one of the other games is called Banishers. That is by Don't Nod. It is an amazing game by that team that made Vampire and some other games as well. But I would say Banishers was great because it became a game that had action, combat, but it was still focused on an amazing story about a couple who are in like a new world like America and coming in to explore supernatural occurrences. They're called Banishers. And
I remember that game now.
Horrible happens. It's an amazing game.
I didn't never play it, but as soon as you said that part, I knew what game you're talking about. That right there.
And something very horrible happens to one of the couple right in the beginning, but you're eventually just essentially exploring these really amazing stories about loss and ghosts and things like that are haunting this community. And you have to understand what happened. You follow the traces, and there is combat, but I would say the combat is getting better with this developer. They made Vampire, which is a very cool game, but I would say combat, it would be almost like the Stranger. What is that one game? Where you're doing the I'm blank. Was it Stranger Colors or no?
Life is Strange. Yeah.
Yes, Life is Strange. So there you go. So imagine they try to go forward with like an action combat game. They're doing great things. They have elements, and I feel like this team with Dontnod is doing that. They're basically taking that concept of great relationship, great storytelling, but with adding a little bit more action elements to get people engaged, and I love it. And I feel like there's a lot with this game. So I always wanted to play those games, and I just never got into them. And this I feel like is my entryway. So play Vampire, play Banishers, because I think they're well worth it, and they're probably pretty cheap.
Nice. That you reminded me of Plague Tale was another game that I really liked. So, all right, we're gonna take this. We're just gonna do one more question here. This comes from Marine Gamer 1289. Loves LeRon. Do you think physical games will ever disappear completely?
Well, Marine Gamer 1289, if you will allow me to answer this one, I don't think physical games will completely disappear, but I do feel like it's not going to be as mainstream or prominent as we think it is. We'll have like the limited run games out there. Of course, we'll have like developers and publishers that know like there's enthusiasts for it and stuff like that. I don't think they'll completely disappear because like I feel like physical games has been like part of our gaming DNA. Like us PC gamers, we're the first ones to feel we haven't had a physical game box in 15 years now. And if we do get one, it's literally just artwork. It is not something that is basically like has got a disc or like whatever to actually like get the medium into our devices. It was Todd got there. Todd's got something.
This is like the last like physical PC game I own. Betrayal at Return to Krondor. It is probably from like 1998. That's where we're at. That's it.
Which the last physical game that I have that actually had a disc in the box is the Battlefield. It was the Battlefield. It wasn't 2042. It was the RTS Battlefield game that was in the sci-fi setting. It's the Battlefield RTS. I guess maybe if I do it that way, like it'll tell me which one it is. Was it? Yeah, I thought it was Battlefield.
I feel like you're talking about Command and
No. Battlefield had. I promise you, Battlefield had a freaking RTS game. Like somebody out there, somebody in the comments, please chime in. You'll probably chime in before I can.
Oh, they will let you know.
Yeah, before I can figure it out. 2142. There we go. Battlefield 2142. That
2142.
Okay.
Ron and you and two people played.
I'm sorry,
game.
it was an FPS. I'm sorry, it was an FPS. I don't know why I thought it was an RTS game. I don't know why. It was an FPS game from 2006.
You feeling all right, LeRon?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Well, that's 2006. That just shows how far back this game was. That I forgot like critical elements of what the game was. I promise you guys, I played it. I just have fuzzy memory about it. That's all. Hey, I'm 50 years.
Literally like 1.2 gigabytes right here.
Yeah, I'm 50 years old. Please cut me some slack. Be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think physical games will stick around for a while. I think you're going to see more places like limited run and super rare games pop up, and it's going to become more boutique and more. That's going to be your special edition of the game is the physical copy, and there'll be tiers of that, right? But I don't think they'll ever really go away.
They're not going the way of the dodo. Not.
I think certain companies will stop doing physical games, right? Like Microsoft seems to be leaning that way already. Gears Reloaded didn't get a physical copy on Xbox, only on PlayStation. Hellblade didn't get a physical copy at all.
I mean, with Xbox, their biggest selling system is the Series S.
Mm-hmm.
It's a digital only system, so that tells the tale right there. I mean, with Switch, you'll still get it because it comes with the base system comes with that. I'm hearing PlayStation with their PS6 will not come with a drive, but you can buy a drive optionally. That just tells you the tale right there. That is saying, and then PCs have not had a physical drive in decades. So
Nintendo's doing their damnedest to phase them out too.
And exactly with the game cards, basically it's just a key that you can put in. I would say at best we should expect steelbooks and really cool ways to say you own a game, but don't necessarily play the game, because let's put it on this way. Digital is the king. And if we can have a way to show that we love a game with a digital, a steel box or something like that physically to show it, I think that's where we're going to end. So I think that's fine. Like CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray, great. I know there's collectors of it, but quite honestly, a lot of people will rarely have a way to watch a disc unless they buy a very expensive 4K Blu-ray system, which is super expensive. And if you're watching games or anything on DVD, guys, you're doing it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, Corey, Mom, get it right. Get a Blu-ray 4K. Corey, get your mom a Blu-ray UHD system ASAP for Mother's Day.
They have a 4K Blu-ray player with surround sound set up in their basement.
But they still buy DVDs.
And they still watch the DVDs. Yes. Like, and I don't know if it's by mistake or what, but like, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
They crazy. Probably have cataracts at that age, so that's okay. It all looks the same.
I feel your pain on this one, Corey, because like I try my best to like give my mom the best experiences, and it bites me in the ass every time.
Look, you're talking to somebody who tried to teach their mom how to use a computer once, and she picked the mouse up and started tapping the screen because I told her to put the mouse over the
well, that is wild. That is wild.
And
on the screen,
yeah,
that was great. My mom called me because she wanted to figure out how to put pictures on her iPhone email. That went well.
My mom also thinks I work for the internet. So
my mom thinks I work for the internet too.
Oh, Al Gore is your boss, the creator of the internet.
I guess
that's great. Tell Al I said hi.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, physical games. I stopped physical game collecting a long time ago. I have physical games of the games that I truly love. And that's only if the game is fully playable off the disc or off the cart, like Zelda or, like the Xenoblade series I have physically, or Pikmin, or, I have my PS2 versions of God of War 1 and 2 sitting over here, like those, but like those are more for nostalgia's sake than anything at this point,
it's a museum piece.
Yeah.
It's a like playable on a system, and we've got to be okay with that, because nothing is I think people feel like everything has to be available everywhere, but I came from a generation where if you missed a movie in the theater, good luck trying to watch it.
You had to wait like at least a year.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it wasn't even until like really Disney started coming out with them big puffy VHS boxes that
Correct.
It was like more popular to put things out.
Yeah, there's more times behind us that had no media that were ready to play at all times than we do now. So I think we just have a short mindset of that, and it's okay.
Yeah,
but get what you can while you can, and don't expect others to produce that unless there's a financial reason to do it. And you know what? Limited run games will do what they can. Criterion does what it does with the movies perspective, but nobody's doing that for TV. Do you expect to find like Love Island 25 on a physical media?
No.
Yep.
No.
Surprisingly,
no. Because we have to beg for Star Trek now. On physical media, we have to beg for Star Trek now.
So, LeRon, buy those series where they still exist. Buy the game on whatever. I bought the game for what was it called? The animated game.
Prodigy.
Came out. I bought a version.
So you know what? I think I was in Best Buy the other day, and I saw a Prodigy game on PS5 for like $15. I should snatch it up. You should.
Yep, exactly. So Corey, your kids will probably not want, and remember this, nobody wants your physical crap.
I know.
As you old age, your
I don't
children
know.
don't
I don't
want it.
even
They don't
want it.
my son doesn't want my comics that have been sitting there, and I'm like, I'm so glad of my comics. Nobody wants your old crap. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Geek Wills will be an awesome part of the future. So if you're a lawyer, Geek Wills,
That's how you're gonna make your money.
a profession to get
Yeah.
into. Holy crap. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
Should we talk about that as a future topic?
Being
Like,
being an
write it down.
estate planner,
Geek legacies.
being an estate planner
Oh
for
my
us
God.
Gen Xers
Corey,
and
you need a
millennials.
geek lawyer on this podcast.
I know.
to talk about that.
I know.
Oh
Estate
my
planning for the
god!
geek
Oh my god!
I'm
My kids are gonna hate me because I don't give a damn about physical content as much anymore. My kids would hate me if they're waiting for me to pass away for they can get that giant video game collection to like cash in.
Oh, in your
Look, when
will,
our-
you'll have
when
to
our-
put all your Steam logins. Unfortunately, Ron. Sorry.
I gotta say though, when our internet went out, my kids were sure happy that I had Disney movies on Blu-ray. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
oh
I
man,
still have a VHS DVD recorder combo unit. You jealous?
I am a
think
little
you
bit
are.
actually.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Yeah, I think
Is
LeRon so
LeRon
jealous that he
frozen?
froze. Yeah, he froze.
Oh my God. Or he's very excited about all of that and he just can't respond.
I know, man. LeRon, you're killing it. You're killing us here. Yeah, I actually like for games that I like really love now. I've just been getting like physical figures to put on my shelf.
Love that. I love that. Corey, my son, when he went to his apartment, actually said, "Dad, can I have some of the amiibo?" And I said, "Yes, you can." It was amusing. It was a magical thing. Oh my God, I almost cried.
That's amazing. Yeah, I actually bought the I've been buying these little Mega Man those Mega Man collector toys that are like $25 a piece.
Yep.
I got Fireman yesterday. So I have Cutman, Fireman, and Mega Man now.
Did you see the Genesis carts where they open up and they've got like different versions of games that are in the Genesis with characters? They're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They are cool. Well, this is awkward. We need LeRon to come back in so we can end the show, so we can upload audio and get everybody out of here. You know what, Todd? We're going to answer this last question while he's away.
Absolutely.
With so many subscription services, do you think we're heading towards streaming fatigue in gaming like TV and movies? I don't know. I feel like it has been proven that the subscription model of Game Pass and PS Plus is more of a supplement than a primary form of income for them. Fatigue, I don't know. I guess it depends, especially like PlayStation owners. Like, I mean, obviously PC players don't have this problem, but unless you're a Game Pass subscriber, but PlayStation Plus, the base version only doesn't have anything with it. It's just the cloud saves and like your free games every month. So
also online, unfortunately, Corey, as I learned, because I couldn't play Split Fiction. So I'd say it does feel like it's an antiquated thing with having to pay for online when so many do it for free these days. So I would say at this point, yes, I felt very much fatigued. So I let my subscription run out until I could not play Split Fiction online with my friend Chris. So I had to resub, which sucks. Just because I want to play a game together. I would say Game Pass, great, but I would love it if they decoupled online with that. Just let's play the games and we could play them however you want. And the only thing I would think is unique is NSO is the game subscription service that I feel like online is the least important part, not well done, but people want it because they want to play the games that are available on those platforms like NES, SNES, and now if you get the expansion pack, you get the other platforms as well. So I feel like that has the value, especially as they include like DLC packs as part of the value. But yeah, I feel like people are getting just subscriber fatigue is real in regards to, God, I got to keep up with all these things annually. And then PC, you don't really have that. On PC and Game Pass, you just get the games. You don't have to worry about
It is wild to me. How is it that, like these, like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are like we have to charge you money to play online, whereas the PC is like whatever, like I don't understand like
LeRon,
where
thanks
the
to Xbox because they were the first one that charged
yeah,
PS3, did not
Microsoft was the
charge
one
for
that
online.
yeah. Yeah, Microsoft was the one that basically cracked open the floodgates on that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's just wild to me that somehow like the infrastructure for those three platforms all came down to like you have to pay for online for us to live.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's antiquated from a 20-year-old diatribe, and it's a model that is financially motivated that keeps it that way versus
Yeah.
actually is a consumer actually favorable focus. So yeah, I realize this is once again an area in PC where they actually are better than console, but at this point, if you're tied into the console experience, which I'm going to be less and less, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I think just like you, I reactivated my PlayStation Plus for all of 1 year just to do it. When the first year the PS5 was out, I reactivated my PS Plus for that, And then as soon as it expired, well, actually when like credits pulled over because like PlayStation did that grandfather plan for when they beefed
Now
up.
and all those, it's like 3
Yeah.
years with now. It's same thing
Yeah.
with like when Corey. I assume you were in this part of this. Maybe everybody was when it basically became Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You could convert, what was it, 360 or Xbox Live, and you get like 3 years. We all did that, and now it's done. It's like, is that a value? So once my GPU runs out, I will go to Game Pass PC.
Yep.
And that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I on PlayStation, I don't know if it's the same as Xbox. I knew it wasn't at one point, but I don't know if they changed it or not. But the one thing about PlayStation is that free-to-play games don't require PlayStation Plus. So Destiny doesn't require it.
Yeah.
Fortnite, Apex Legends, which is wild to me. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, all right. Well, let's get out of here now that LeRon's back for the third time.
And I was gonna say, LeRon, before we leave, it looks like there's multiple people in your house that may be serial killers, so watch out for them.
Yeah.
We just witness it live on the internet.
It might be. This is entertaining. So,
Corey, you know my home address, so please, like, do the right thing.
You can call the cops if you want. I don't know if it'll help, but
I saw
LeRon,
nothing.
you could do that yourself as well. But if you're not worried, we're not worried.
Yeah. Like if he doesn't show up next week, and then we know what happened. Anyways, I want to thank everybody out there for watching and listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Remember, you can catch us every Wednesday on your podcast service of choice and on YouTube. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. You can check out our website at bossrush.net. Todd, thank you for your time tonight. Where can people follow you to find out what your next endeavor is?
Yes, that's a great point. For now, Secret Friends Unite is where I'm putting out content this week, but going forward, if you want to follow me and see what I'm going to do next, it's going to be at Todd Oxtra on Blue Sky, at Toxtra on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. And I will be doing something new, but there'll be something cool with video games, and I will be continuing to do the fantasy football stuff with Waiver Wire Wizards. So check it out. I'm still working on my website, all that fun stuff. The stuff I actually don't enjoy doing is building that stuff, but the stuff I want to do is make cool stuff. So yeah, check that out. And I will say this: if you're a aspiring creator, want to do something cool, but don't care about all the nonsense about finding a host and things like that, let me know. I want to help people make stuff happen. There you go.
Well, Todd, we will also be helping you promote your stuff as well, trying to get it out there because you've helped us so many times. It's what friends do, or as Thor would say, that's what heroes do.
Yeah, you guys are the best. LeRon, Corey, you guys, the rest of the Secret Friends Unite, or the Boss Rush community has been amazing. I'm glad I have you guys as friends, and that's been one of the best things about making podcasts is making friends, just having a good time.
Yes. Todd, I'm glad we've been friends for so long. I'm glad we've continued to be friends for, I don't know, forever at this point. The only person
We don't even know where it started, Corey. I don't even know. Remember, at this point where it's been so long, we've all forgotten.
The only person missing is Matthew Keel. So,
oh, God. And I talked to Matt tonight. So
I talked to him earlier today as well. So,
I haven't talked to him today. I'm feeling kind of.
Well, he doesn't like you, LeRon. He only likes us.
Exactly.
I heard you like too much like music that he doesn't like, and that's Matt's like death symbol is music. So
yeah,
well, then he should hate me.
It is for sure. Yeah,
you're a Steely Dan fan apparently. That's not good.
Oh God, it's not. I mean,
sorry.
Side tangent,
Sorry,
Todd.
Corey.
I don't remember if you remember this podcast, the Nerds Gone Rogue episode, where like you and him went back and forth about Steely Dan for like 40 minutes. Oh my God,
too long. And by the way, fun fact: I was just at a Yacht Rock concert in Shakopee, where I live. It was fun. They did play Steely Dan, and I did not puke.
Oh, don't. Anyways, everybody out there, thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
So long.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.